FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry, Lutz, and hey, notwithstanding what happened last week, especially last Friday, we are still in a gold bull market. Nothing that has happened is going to change my view of that. I think these dislocations, these panics, like we have a pandemic. When you look at a pandemic, I see at the end of it stands for panic. We have financial pandemics, we have health pandemics, we have economic pandemics. It's just the way life works. And the people who do best are the people who can get past the emotions and actually see and get an idea of what's going to happen in the future and then invest accordingly. And right now I am with Heye Daun. He is CEO of Osino Resources. I suggest you go over to Osino, that's OSINO resources.com, sign up for the notifications so the next drill results, when they come out in a couple of months, you will be privy to it right away. But don't wait for the drill results. This story is too good. Hi, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show again, Kerry.
As always. So we appreciate your support in being a sponsor. Looking at this, you're in the midst of what appears to be a major gold bull market. Talk to people like Rick Rule and others, and it seems to be confirmed. Hey, this isn't your first rodeo, is it?
No, it isn't. As you know, we've discussed this a bit on your show before. We sold a project to B2 Gold a couple of years ago. They turned it into a very successful, highly profitable gold mine. And Osino, really, the essence is to do that again. And I think we're well on the way towards that.
Yeah, and so basically 2 projects, Ojikoto, Twin Hills. You've gotten a lot of drill results in so far to date. Most of them have been pretty positive. There haven't been many dry holes.
Yeah, you know, the Twin Hills is really our flagship project, and it's a brand new discovery, legitimate discovery, in that the results indicate that it has serious potential to become an economically feasible gold mine. And so those initial results indicate that, and they give us the confidence to really hit it now and drill it substantially this year and turn it into a resource and advance it.
Just tell us, why are you so upbeat on it? Tell us about the drill results to date and what you see there compared to your other previous projects that you were successfully sold off.
Yeah, that is really the reason why I am so upbeat about it, is because I have a great comparison with the previous project. It's on the same belt, it's the same geology, it seems to be the same sort of architecture and have a very similar genesis. And that project, you know, I was intimately involved in advancing that towards an operating gold mine. So what we have now with Twin Hills compares very well with Ojikoto in terms of the rate at which we're advancing it, the grades, the widths. We've already drilled it over about 1 to 1.5 kilometers, and you know, these results are very positive. So we're very excited about where it's going.
Right, and the first 8 holes you drilled, if I remember correctly, 7 of them came up with gold?
Yeah, that was in the beginning, was quite an amazing hit rate, and that kind of created a lot of expectations. But I've got to caution your listeners a little bit. I mean, that's in exploration, it's rare that every hole hits, and we are no different. So, you know, with the hits will be misses, but you know, so far everything hangs together beautifully, and we expect ongoing success.
I'll just chalk that up to your inherent modesty, Heye, because look, you know what you're doing here. We look at the project, we see where it's going. It's huge district scale project. We could be looking at something really special here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. It is definitely special in that it's a very significant new discovery, and I have high conviction it's going to become a quality producing gold mine ultimately.
Right, and more importantly, in some some ways, more importantly, I should say, so many of the juniors that we see here at PDAC literally are counting paper clips. They're undercapitalized. They're stealing from Peter to pay Paul and Paul to pay Peter, not stealing, but, they're stretched. Their finances are stretched. You just had a capital raise here. I think you eventually raised $14 million, which was oversubscribed, and that's a vote of the market's confidence in you, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. I would say so. I mean, the spread of institutional investors that came into that financing, it was all institutional investors, specialist and generalist, I think is a vote of confidence in us as a team, but I also think in the quality of our project, and these investors realize that this is a real project, and this will go places.
And you're going to be drilling 20,000 meters. You're fully funded for 2020.
Yeah, easily funded for 2020, and you can say we're just about funded for 2021 as well. We will end the year with about $7 million in the bank, which doesn't sound like a lot in the US, but in Namibia we have weak currency, so $7 million goes a long way. So yeah, we are funded well into next year with very active drilling.
Yeah, which is great. So let's just talk about Namibia. That's your home country. Spent much of your life there, and a lot of you out there, when you think Africa, you think risky, you think unstable, you think a lot of negative things, but Namibia is really the exception to the rule, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to say think Texas, but somebody the other day pointed out to me I should say think Nevada, because it's not quite as flat as Texas, but it is very similar to those two states. It's arid, it's sparsely populated, it's very organized. It's cattle rancher country. My family are cattle ranchers, and where our project is located is also on a cattle ranch, and ultimately we're going to acquire that land, and Namibia is an excellent place to operate.
Yeah, stable government, and they encourage mining, unlike a number of other jurisdictions in the world, right?
They do. In fact, we've got the Namibian Minister of Mines speaking at a breakfast here at PDAC in 2 days' time, introducing Mark Bristow from Barrick. We'll be attending that. So, no, the government is very proactive and actively trying to encourage mining investment.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess Namibia was ahead of the United States in that regard. The United States, up until recently, really wasn't encouraging mining much these days, but now it's a whole nother story. So as far as catalyst events that might affect the stock price and might affect the company moving ahead, what do you see?
In the short term, results, because it's going to be a lot of drilling. It will take a month or two, maybe 2 months or 3, for those results to come out. In the medium term, we are of course working towards advancing our Twin Hills project to a resource. So early in 2021, i.e. let's say 12 to 18 months from now, we plan to have a significant resource, and I think that will be a very important milestone in the development of this company. And then in addition to that, and I think the Canadian audience is intent on this as well, is ongoing discovery. We do have a lot of pipeline projects that we are not disregarding and we're spending money on. It's a secondary focus, but there is a good chance that we might make further discoveries. So those kind of catalysts could be coming in.
How big is Twin Hills again?
I can't give you a resource number because we're restricted by 43-101.
Yeah, sure. But in terms of geographical size,
so with the system, which is the surface expression of the gold system, is about 15 kilometers. So that's a very significant gold system. We've drilled it. We've drilled a fraction of it so far, and you can imagine it like a string of pearls in a way, where the main asset in the middle is Twin Hills Central. That's the one where we've been having these good results, and we've got these satellite prospects that are along that trend, which we are also going to continue testing this year.
And like it said, in exploration companies, you live and die by the drill. So the goal is obviously to drill as many holes as possible to get the best possible results, because that's going to help you establish a resource. And so, getting it in motion, getting the systems in place, making it work. How challenging is that?
It is challenging because it's not always linear. I'm an engineer, so I like straight lines, to go from A to B to C. And with geology, unfortunately, it's not always like that. So there's a lot of interpretation, and that requires good experience. And that's why I have some very credible and competent geologists that help me do that. So that, I would say, is the main challenge for us at the moment, is to better understand what controls this mineralization. And once you understand that, it improves your predictability and helps you achieve ongoing positive hit rates. So I guess that's the main challenge. Until recently, financing is a major challenge. It's we consume a lot of capital, and we got to keep the machine oiled. But with this financing that we've just done, we secure for 2 years, which is a major relief. So we can focus on the essence now.
Yeah, and timing is everything. You secured this a couple of weeks ago, and here you are. We saw what happened to the market last week. So you really are well situated and well capitalized. So that gives you a lot of freedom, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It allows us to focus on getting the job done.
Yeah, because so much of your time, you're the CEO. You have to think of everything. Government relations. You've got management. The whole business plan, implementing it, and then you got to be constantly raising money. That's a tremendous distraction, isn't it?
It is. I would say that my key strength is execution, getting things done, and we've been good at that. I think we've shown that, and so we will continue to focus on that. And so it's great to not to have to focus so much on financing for the next little while.
So you grew up on a ranch. You decided ranching wasn't for you, that you wanted to be an engineer, a mining engineer, and you went ahead with that. What is your plan here? So just share with us your plans in life and in business.
Okay, well, I like getting a little more philosophical, and I can answer that straight away, and that is my primary motivator here, of course, is to create value for shareholders. But at the same time, whilst I do this, I create other forms of value in Namibia. So, I have seen it before with the last project that B2 Gold built, which I was instrumental in bringing to fruition. I have seen the power of capital and investment, especially in countries like Namibia, where even though it's well organized and it's easy to operate, it's still there's a huge socio-economic need. People need jobs, and mining is a major force for good over there, and that really motivates me. So if I can bring another project like that to fruition in Namibia, it's a game changer in Namibia, and that's very, very motivating for me, and it's fun to be able to really make a difference, and that drives me.
Yeah. So when you look back and you see B2 Mining's project that you found, that you're the cause of, and profitability, jobs, capital flowing into the country, it's got to be a good feeling.
It's a great feeling. I'll tell you a little story. I walked into the PDAC this morning, and there in the registration area is a big banner with a rhino on it, and it says B2 Gold. They are now the biggest funders of nature conservation in Namibia. They are major sponsors of rhino conservation in Namibia. All of that has come through this project, and so it really does feel good to have been part of it.
Yeah, so today's mining is so much different than the mines of yesteryear, where they would just dig a hole basically, and they finished the mine, and then they just walked away and forgot about it. We're a little more enlightened than that now, aren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, I keep referring to B2, but they really have their heart in the right place, and they are doing mining generally proud, and I think they set a great example to others, and many other companies are the same. So I do think the mining industry has come around to a much more progressive approach, and that's good.
So since you've been doing companies mining in Namibia, what's the biggest surprise you've encountered?
And say that again. The biggest surprise.
The biggest surprise that you totally weren't expecting when you started this venture.
Let me think about that for a moment. I didn't expect us to be quite as successful as we have been, to be honest. You mentioned this earlier. I'm generally a modest guy. I'm good at getting stuff done. I knew that we would have success, but this discovery has been quite a game changer, and it has surprised me. So it's very pleasing.
So first company, you're successful, sell it off. Now you're on the next one. And again, it looks like you're going to replicate and perhaps even do far better, be far more successful on Osino than you were in the prior one. It's like, got to be, how do you deal with the success, without letting it get to your head?
No, it definitely is not getting to my head. I'm going to use this, actually. I'm not going to respond to your question directly. I'm going to use it for a slight promotional insert on my company. You said I'm modest, but allow me to do that briefly. We have very high conviction that we will turn this into a success. We believe that the downsides, or the downside risk, which is financing and geology, has largely been addressed, and there's a lot of upside. So I think it's a great opportunity to get in now. And for me, no, it doesn't get to my head. I think I would love to get this done. Ultimately, develop a resource, pass it on to an appropriate entity to build a mine, and then do it again.
And do it again, and rinse, wash, repeat, which is a great formula for success in life. When you find something that works, you keep doing it. Hey, if I didn't mention before, the website's Osino, OSINO resources.com. Go there, sign up for the latest notifications. You'll get the next drill results right when they come out. Hopefully, you'll take a look at the stock before then. Again, the symbol is OSI. It's trading on the Toronto Venture, and it's also on the Frankfurt R2R1. Heye, wish you the best of luck. We're going to check in with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kerry. It's always great to be on your show. Thank you for your support as well.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.